around the space. So I'm going to show you 6 to 7 art pieces in the space. And maybe let's go a bit further here. The exhibition is called The Game of Roles, but the door that I'm going to give don't have much of a connection to the Game of Roles itself. So the door is called The Authorlessness and the power of my critique discourse in the worthlessness, the concept of anonymity. So that's what I'm going to speak about. The first object that I want to present to you are actually 2 objects in here. That are called invisible power. So basically these are the portals that are providing the access to an energy that you are able to obtain for charging devices or whatever you do with a plug. You use it for obtaining the energy. But just think for a minute about the conceptual narrative behind the power plug. The conceptual narrative behind the power plug goes in the line of actually the risk that we all take by using the electricity without knowing where it comes from. And actually, as the researchers show, up to 95% of people don't even understand how electricity works. And that philosopher is actually already asking that question to themselves for a long time. Anthony Giddens' biggest movement are writing the works on the society of risk, precisely speaking about those forces of energy and their work without the consciousness of us understanding how they work. So in case it will be ceased off and switched off tomorrow, for example, for 95% of the people it would be meaning to return to the basic existence of the pre-civilizational state, because they will not be able to actually restart it. So these 2 objects here represent this danger, the materiality of this danger of happening at any moment, and also the danger of control behind them, because the control behind them is very limited as well in this. Any questions? If you have questions, just ask them away. You haven't played. Go ahead. Anyone who didn't play goes over. You haven't played. The next piece that I want to show you is this. Very aesthetically and beautifully represented figures of men and women. It's a toilet sign. Which is conceptually representing the gender determination and the basics of separation of the roles of the sexes and the basis of sex interaction. We still sign the toilets like this in this form, and not only the toilet sign, but also the other things that are genderly separated are still making us politically believe that the roles of the woman and the role of the women and the role of the man are different in society in a way. And those little items like these toilet signs, for example, are unconsciously continuing to confirm the stereotype that we still divide the roles of the 2 sexes on the basis of the functionality of their performance, or we still find the reason of why we have to separate the usage of the spaces by different sexes in this form. Everybody who is not placed or not listening to the form. It's like a reminder. The next object is the arc in here that you see. That is the most political piece in the exhibition, as it represents the arc of the entrance into the certain space of political power. Normally it was the entrance to the space of the city, for example. The first arcs were representing the space of the authority of a certain political leader, the king, arc represents the entrance into the first initial space, into the main space of the exhibition, by establishing it as a kind of city in the form that you enter through this pathway, through this passage. You're all familiar with Arc de Triomphe, for example, with the other arches in the Schumer world. They all represent the space, this artificial border of the political community, of the identity of a certain geographical space that then is charged with a political connotation. So let's enter. So the next piece that I want to show is the ferns. These ferns, which is representing our attempt to connect with the nature still by living in the completely emotionless, natureless spaces like this one that we are now. This is the only one object in here, in this particular space, that still connects us to the outer world. It actually shows that we live some kind of a maybe natural planet, some kind of a natural environment. These ferns represent this are meant to with a piece of earth in there as well, are meant to establish this connection between them. And so it's inside of this completely emotionless and an emotional city, this is the only one object that is representing the actual nature. The next piece that I want to show you is the brick wall. The brick wall normally in this form, initially you were seeing actually outside of the building, but in here inside you see it as the inside actually of the living space, and it represents the modeling border that we want to create between the outer space and the inner space by replicating something that's supposed to be on the outside from the inside outer spaces, and in this way expanding the space itself. So you have at the same time the space which is supposed to be internal and outer wall. So it's outerness which is presented inward in this format. And finally, the final piece in our city here is the transparent door, which is representing the political. First of all, it represents the political transparency, and although the space is private, you can still see through it, which is also speaking about our relation with transparency at the moment, with the absence actually of the privacy in the space. The space is supposed to be private, which is the outside, so it's supposed to be actually separated and closed, but you can see through the space where people live. And this is the same format of the perception and consumption of the privacy we have now in internet, or we have now in any of the life situations that we are still now pretending that we have this privacy. This is our privacy. Although we still have it written as a private, and we still confirm the privacy conditions of we still tackle the privacy agreement and all the websites and everything that we still consider to have as our private property, our pictures, our identity cards, everything is exactly as this transparent wall. It's just the illusion of this privacy, which we are dealing with. But in reality, we are dealing with the complete transparency of ourselves. That's the end of the tour. Thank you very much. So I hope you like our exhibition.